Hello. Welcome to JKeSports Formula One Racing. This is the Mexican Grand Prix, round 19 of the 21 round season to finish the 2019 F1 calendar before season 2 starts. The standings as of now: you've got Scavney in the lead, 252 points. That's a 51-point advantage over Sam Barrett, who is back today after a couple races off. Let me get my cameras set up here. Turn that on, turn that on, turn that off. Alright, so we've got some people on outlaps already. I'll find them here in a second. Oh, the Mexican circuit has been raced on 21 times. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Let's see, we've got someone coming around to start their lap already. Looks like Cam is in the pits. As Diego spins and crashes at the line, it looks like. So there goes Brian to start a flying lap. Looks like he's the first one on a flyer. We'll stick with him for a little while. As the current layout of the Mexican Grand Prix has 17 turns. It is a 2.6 mile track, 4.3 kilometers. Last year's pole position won by Charles Leclerc with a 1:15.0. We'll have a good 35 or 36 laps. As here you see Brian coming through the S's of Sector 2. He's flat out, 200 miles an hour. The hard brake into turn 10 there. I believe that's turn 10. Nope, that's turn 12 after the long straight. I'll have to remember that. Here comes Brian around the final two corners. Looks like he invalidated at the very end there, a 1:15.5. As Johnny puts up a 1:17.9. See, there goes Random across the line. Miss Braylow just started his lap. Diego puts a 1:20 on the board. Here's Cam, also on an outlap. Just started a flyer. These look like terrible. Ducked back into the pit lane after an outlap. As here comes the Haas around. H puts up a 1:19.1. So everybody just getting banker laps in. Here's K-Dog with a 1:18.0. Good for P3 at the moment. What else we got? I believe that's Johnny on his in lap. Brian on another invalidated. So we got T is in the pits. Who's that? Must be Braylow there on the outlap. Another in lap. And it's Brian. Braylow coming around. Looks like he's on a flyer. See how he finishes up. Comes around the final turn. Back on the throttle. Good for P4, which quickly drops to P5 as Diego put up a faster lap. We've got another joiner in there. Cam puts up a pole speed 1:15.6 to beat now. So here comes Zap, last week's winner, to start his flying lap. First flying lap. We've got 12 minutes left in the session still. Looks like we've got 16 drivers so far. I believe a few more on the way. So hopefully we'll fill the grid. It's like there's an Alfa Romeo missing, McLaren missing. Hopefully we'll fill them up. Zap looks like he's on a pretty good pace through sector 2 there. Comes around the sharp apex turn 6 through the S's. You see T coming to the line now. It's like both racing points there as I didn't see. Ducks in. Braylow and Isolate starting there. Nope, Isolate ducks back into the pits. There comes Zap around. See if he can break the 1:15.5. No, P2 1:15.7 by 8 thousandths over Random for third. So there must have been some invalidation toward the bottom of the field as Scavney, Bryan, Terrible have all been out but not set lap times yet. We'll try and find somebody on a flyer. Looks like Diego. Everyone else on out laps. T. You know, T's in front of Diego. We'll go check his lap. Comes through sector 2 at 57.1. I'm not quite sure how that holds up at the field. Didn't catch it on the pole lap, so pretty smooth through the final sector though. Back on the gas. Comes around, looks like about a 1:16.6. P4. P4 for now, so good bankers. Everyone's got plenty of time to make another lap. As I believe Isolate was next. He was invalidated. We've got Terrible coming around. Looks like Scavney as well on a flyer. He's at 56.3 through sector 2, so that's a little quicker. Maybe up in the P3, P4 range. Good smooth final corner for him too, as he puts P4 1:15.8. It's tight up there at the top. 2-3 tenths separating the top 4. As Terrible puts up a 1:16.5. And here comes H, I believe 1:19.1. Not sure if he improved on that time. Looks like Bryan coming around to take a checkered flag for a lap. Goes P1 1:15.2. So a new benchmark for pole position here. As Brian Mosser puts down a 1:15.2, you've got Sam coming to the line to start a flyer. T ducks into the pits behind him. Looks like Random comes around. He goes P1 by, not much, 14 thousandths. He tops Brian's lap with a 1:15.211, so it's tight. Everyone's going to be trying to find those final tenths for starting positions here. As we're watching Sam into sector 2 now. He's coming up on some traffic. Hopefully they'll try and get out of the way for him. See the double apex there, turn 6. And the high-speed S's, usually 5th, 6th gear there. He took that very smoothly. As the car gets out of the way for him. Thank you for that. There's another gracious driver, lets him by. He comes down into turn 12. And the hard, slow section of 13, 14, 15. We call that 16. Back on the gas, turn 17. 1:15.6. Not good enough for pole. Good enough for P3 though. By 6 thousandths, so it's very tight. Top 5, less than half a second. And Cam here, starting another flying lap. He's got pole speed. Looks like we got some people running out of fuel. Let's go check the bottom of the board here. You got Mark and Coxie on their flying laps. Let's see, Mark's in front. Who else is out there? We got Isolate coming. He's on a flyer starting. H coming around. Got half a second better on his time. which would move him up one spot, looks like. So we'll see, stick with him until he puts his time in. He gets 1:16.8, moves him up one spot to P9. Mark of Kenya coming around the final. No, he ducks back into the pits. He was invalidated, so he's still yet to put a time down. You've got T coming around to start a flyer now. Looks like Sam as well. I believe he's getting ready to start a second flying lap. Got enough time to do another session. No, he ducked in the pit right now, so he's gonna go get fresh tires. Looks like he is on the mediums. I didn't even check that for most of the field. Just kind of assume everybody's gonna run the softs, but it's not the case. Zap went alternate strategy a couple weeks, no, last weekend. Got alternate strategy and a good safety car. Helped him out. Fit his strategy quite nicely. There you see random. That's the, is that a Red Bull by, I believe? Might have been an AlphaTauri of Coxey with a invalidated lap. So Scavney, your championship leader, P7. For now, looks like he starts his second flying lap on some soft tires. We'll check to see if who's got what tires. Looks like Sam, the only one in the top 10 on the medium so far. Scavney rounds turn 5, 6 again there. The double apexed. We've got, where's he on the map? There he is. Well, there's a few cars in front of him. Looks like the Johnny 5 on a flyer. As Braylo goes to P10 in front of Johnny 5. Johnny 5's P12. Looks like Diego moved up a few spots to P7. Scavney goes P2. 0.224. 1:15.224. It's 1/1000th ahead of Brian for third. So it is tight at the top here. As here comes Zap. He puts up pole 1:15.0 now. With just over 4 minutes left. Looks like we got Mark on another flyer. Let's see, Brian and Coxey. Brian looks like he's coming to finish a lap. Does not improve his time. He might not get back in enough time to finish. Looks like, see, we got Sam. Nope, that's random. Random spins. Looks like he'll go into the pits. Looks like K-Dog coming around. She's on an out lap, so we'll check Johnny's invalidated. Isolate out lap. Braylo invalidated. Diego coming around. Looks like he's on an in lap, I believe. So we'll watch Brian. He's close to his time through Sector 1. As Zap snuck in a pole lap of 1:15.0. So Brian invalidates again. So there's track limits. Track limits testing everybody out there. So here comes Diego through the short chicane. Turns 1, 2, 3 there. A little bit of a lockup as he comes down with another tricky, tight part of the track. Got to get slowed down in time for those turns, and it throws off your whole section. So looks like most everyone's back in the pit lane. Probably going to see a flurry of activity. Looks like Terrible starts on the flyer. Couple more people starting flyers. Looks like K-Dog out there. Possibly isolate. He's in that. Nope, that must be Braylo up there then. It is K-Dog. Letting the McLaren by. T-Widow, go check Mark coming toward the end of his lap. Running out of fuel, but he comes around. Just put a time up finally of 1:15.4, which is good for P6. He does not have enough time to get another lap in, so his P6 will stand as you see everyone rushing out now, getting their final laps in. As we've got Cam Terrible coming around sector 3 now. He's in P10 at the moment. We'll try and catch the end of everybody's laps here. As Diego retires from 9th place, not going to get another lap in. Terrible crosses the line, we'll stay in 10th. As T crosses, we'll stay in 11th. Now you got everybody retiring for the end of the session. K-Dog jumps into the pits. Braylo on an out lap. He's going to beat the flag to get another flyer in. K-Dog into the pits. There you see J. Mario. Looks like some traffic jam coming in here. I believe he's on a flyer. Oh no, he's got an 11-minute lap, it says. That's weird. If that is the case, that is the longest lap ever. As Coxey comes around. Brian Mosser starts a final flyer. Is getting toward the end of the time here. Looks like H gets it over the line. That's gonna be it. This is 10 seconds left in the session, so everyone out there is the only one's gonna get their laps in. As we'll watch T, he's well up on his time, so we'll watch Johnny 5 behind him, who is actually down on his time a little bit. He's in P14 right now. A little wide around that corner, but recovers back to the gas. Puts up a 1:16.5, stays P12. As Braylo crosses up to P10. Scavney does not improve. Brian Coxey crosses the line. There's trying to keep up here. There's Sam. Random does not improve. You got Cam coming around. He's half a second up. That bumps him up to P3. So Cam bumps himself to P3 at the very end there. You got Terrible coming around. Who's that? Brian, I think, had a lap going, but he ducked into the pits, so looks like that's it for qualifying. I think H had one in him. He crosses the line, does not improve either. So there's checkered flags for the qualifying session as Zap put a 1:15.006 as Scavney and Cam on their final minute runs also put up 1:15.0s. So the top three, less than a tenth of a second, less than 3/4 of a second, 3/4 of a tenth of a second. That's a blink of an eye. Top 10, less than a second. Matter of fact, first to 10th is 1 second, 0.08. So this is a tight field we got here today for the Mexican Grand Prix. We got 17 drivers. Looks like every constructor is accounted for, at least one car. Alfa Romeo possibly can lock out the Constructors' Championship tonight. So a pole position for Zapp, coming off his win last week in the United States. Backs it up with pole position for the Haas team here in Mexico. As there the game finishes, you see your pole sitter. Oh, your pole sitter's teammate. That's H, qualified in 15th. So the Haas, you see Sam Barrett, the only one on the medium strategy, qualified in 8th place. 6/10 off pole. But that's a tight field. You got less than 2 seconds from 1st to 15th. JR, Mario, and we'll just call him Mario, and K-Dog bringing up the rear there. So, Mexican Grand Prix set to be underway in a minute. Everybody gets a little break here before the race, so we'll be right back. Alright, so we're back just in time to get the start of the race here. We'll turn that off. Do that for the start. Here we go. Let's see some lights. Uh-oh, people leaving the session. 5 lights. No lights. Race time it is. It looks like Scavney got a better jump on the inside than Zap did. For the battle down to turn 1, looks 3, 4, 5 wide down there. Zap and Scavney. Ooh. 4 or 5. Bunch of cars. Looks like pretty clean through the back as Sam gets a little bit off track. Random goes by. And vice versa, a little bit of dust up in the back. And goes back to Scavney at the front of the pack. Moves him down into turn 6 for the first time. It's pretty smooth so far. A little bit off track in the first sector, but looks like everyone's settled it down into the S's here. Here you see T going by in the McLaren. You see some projected pit stop strategies as only one car qualified in the top 10 on the mediums. That was Sam. As there you see Scavney comes around to start lap 3. I don't know if that's even right. That seems odd. It only seemed like 1 lap, but it says it's on lap 3. Scavney. Yes, yep, that's given a 26-second lap as a couple people pit. Mario and H. Must have got a little bit of damage there at the beginning of the race. There you see Scavney. Zap right behind him. Not sure if that's Mosser or Coxey. Mosser's in 3rd. And the Alpha. AlphaTauri, since there's Alfa Romeo as well. I guess you should specify. But so pretty smooth running out at the front. Scavney got a better jump to take it from Zap. Mark up to 4th. Looks like Cam right behind him. Coxey behind him. So come through the final sector. Slow turn 16, 17. Hard back on the gas. Down the long front straight. They'll all be in each other's DRS hopefully. Check the board now. Now it's lap 3. As Cam picks up a penalty. As we saw at the end of last week's race, these penalties are huge. I believe, I can't remember who it was, but they dropped from 4th or 5th on track to 8th in the standings after penalty time. I believe it was Kenny in the McLaren, who's not here today. But those 3-second penalties, you get 2 or 3 of them, they add up real fast. You can drop positions real fast, as right now 3 seconds would drop the leader 3, 4, that'd drop him to 5th, 6th place right now. So crucial penalties, gotta try to avoid them as Zap looks for maybe a little move. Brian right behind, you got a tight top 3. Looks like just a little bit of a parade for now. Get some laps under the belt. Make sure your car, your setup's all dialed in. There's a little bit of separation toward the midfield back of the pack. Zap passes for the lead. Looks like he got the DRS assisted pass down the long straight. And Scavney's not going to give up easy. He's right back on him. See Brian behind. Tight battle on the top. that. Oh, I'm back now. Zap has taken the lead. He's checked out a little bit. Looks like Scavney second. Brian hanging right with him in the DRS range. Cam's fourth. Coxey's in fifth. Sam on the medium in sixth place. Just hanging. Just hanging. It seems like not a whole lot of movement yet. But it's a long race. We're only 5 laps in. Scavney just going to hang on for second for now. All the points he can get. Possibly clinch the championship tonight. It's possible. Wouldn't say probable, but definitely possible. He's had a pretty good, consistent season. I believe only 1 or 2 DNF or non-point finishes. There you see him in second. We'll watch Brian and Cam behind. Trying to catch up a little bit. Down here we go down the long front straight again. Start lap 6. Looks like he's just a little too far back. That DRS sucks him right up. But not close enough into turn 1 to complete the move. Looks like he's going to get a little bit of a run here as well, but again, not enough. Not enough to take a position. You got to have a big run to get it done. Because he's going to go by the inside or try to go around the outside, I mean. He's putting the pressure on Scavney. Here we go into the S's. This is tight here. You see more penalty time handed out there at the bottom. So it looks like Mosser's got him in sector 1. But Scavney's got the S's as Cam goes right around the outside. Bold move there into the final sector, and he's going to pay for it with a 3-second penalty. Got the move done though, as looks like Sam is right on Brian now. Must have burned up his tires a little bit. Sam's easily going to get that done on the front straight with the DRS. Well, they both got DRS, so maybe not. He ducks back in. So we go 3 wide down almost into turn 1. Sam and Brian oh, Brian a little wiggle, but holds it under the gas and saves it. Not really a save, he just throttled through. Power through the spin out. His tire's still had enough to save it for him. He's trying to hang on though. We're good 7-8 laps in. Those softs don't last super long. Mexico's got a lot of high-speed turns here in Sector 2, so really working those tires. Zap puts a few seconds ahead of, you got now Scavney, Cam, and Sam for second, third, and fourth. Scavney comes around. He's got 2 cars a ride on him. The DRS zone coming. So I can't imagine Cam won't make this pass. He seemed close enough. We've got a caution though. Looks like a safety car. As Brian jumps in the pit real fast. I'm not sure who the safety car is for. There's some slow moving cars around, but I'm not sure the damage. I don't see anyone losing major positions. So a safety car 8 laps in. That'll catch the field back up. Looks like Johnny random isolate. Looks like isolate's gonna cost Braylow with the double stack penalty time, wing change. So yeah, Braylow's most likely gonna drop. But all the cars behind him will probably pit as well. Yeah, Sage comes into the pits. K-Dog will very likely pit. Mario will also likely pit. 8 laps, that's a stretch. 28 till the end. Because yes, K-Dog does pit. So you see H and the Haas crew getting out, Braylo out. So I'm still not sure what caused the safety car. It may have been one of the racing points. As here we'll see, we'll watch Zap, the leader, come in. Looks like, I believe every car in, out will come in. Zap's going soft, so he's at least going to have to make one more stop. He's making it a two-stopper for sure as T stays out. You see Sam go from the medium to the hard. They hold him for the safe release. As Cam gets out ahead of Scavney. Zap holds on to his lead once T pits. I believe he's the only car to not take advantage of the pit lane. Brian will hold on to 6th for now. It'll be 5th. Couple more position changes there at the end of the back of the pack. So we'll look through a little bit of stuff here. Fastest lap right now. You can't count that 26-seconder. So as of now, the fastest lap is Zap with a 1:18.3. We'll go interval. So, yep, T and Terrible, the only ones to not pit so far. Which has gotten T the biggest gain there, obviously, of 12 positions. Yeah, we don't need that on. So, your CT at the safety car now, into sector 3. Looks like it'll be one more lap of safety car. Let's see if T ducks into the pit lane. He does. So not a bad idea. Just get an extra lap. 1 lap fresher tires than everybody else will have at the end of the race. You never know, that rubber for one corner could do it. Get you a point or a position, so every little strategy call helps. It's not going to drop him much farther than he would have been anyway had he pitted with everyone else, so comes out in P12. As you've got Zap, who will need another pit stop. We'll check and see what everyone's on now. What tire? We've got Zap. Zap and Scavney go soft, so they're going to both have to pit again. They're going the 2-stop strategy. Cam and Sam will likely try to stretch the hards to the end. 26 laps, that's a bit of a stretch, but I know they're both good drivers, good on the tires, so definitely doable. Brian Mosser in 5th puts on the mediums, so he does not have to stop again, but might be in the plans. Mark in 6th also on softs, must stop again, so now with 26 to go, there's a lot of different strategies going on. And we're going to get a restart here. Looks like Zap's going to bring him. Oh, the safety car is still flashing. Maybe they didn't call him in. Looks like they did not call the safety car in yet. Turn that off. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Just the interval. Alright. So we're going to go one more round. I thought they'd go green there, but that's my cat being loud in the background. So we'll give another little rundown of the point standings while I got a minute before the race restarts. Scabney is in first place. He's got 252 points. Sam Barrett second with 201. So if he's clear 53 points at the end of this race, Scabney will clinch the championship. So it's possible. Third place is Hildebeest in an Alfa Romeo. He hasn't been around a couple races, been a busy guy. Brian Mosser tied it for P4 at the moment, 126 with Captain Schmeg. Mark of Kenya's 6th in the points, Cam 7th, Braylo 8th. There's a collision on the track. Oh, I hate when that happens under safety car. Somebody gets damaged and has to pit. Oh, rough. Where was I? Chris Money was 9th in the points. Yes, Johnny 5, 10th. Charging Lamp 11th. Conman 12th. Isolate 13th, as the safety car will be in this lap. Coxie 14th. Diego 15th. Zed 16th. K-Dog 17th. Seaberry 18th, Hirsch 19th, and H 20th with 6 points. And here comes Zap. Comes around. He's going to lead him slow. You see the safety car duck into the pit lane. Green flag. Good jump on the inside for Cam. Scabney took the position on the outside, though. As he tries to go for first down the inside into turn 1. Cam forced a little wide. Looks like they were 3 wide behind him. As Mark, Cam, Brian, Zap, Scabney all shuffling for positions up there. Looks like Coxie's at the back of that battle. As there's Brian marking the inside. Makes it clean through turn 5. Still a battle. He keeps him behind though. Everyone's on fresh tires. Getting them warmed up after some safety car laps. Zap putting a little time gap to Scabney. Brian 3rd. Mark hanging with that. Got Sam and Cam got shuffled back a little bit there on the restart. He's got it back together. He's going to hang out with Sam for 5th and 6th. Those are your 2 hard tire runners. So Mark trying to track down Brian. We're down the front straight again for lap 13. No DRS yet. Be enabled the next lap. As the hard brakes into turn 1 there. A little bit of a longer chicane. Section 1 or sector 1, turn 1, 2, 3. There's a lot more penalty time coming. Must be tight track limits. It's Braylo doesn't always have the greatest connection. And there's Mark. There's Sam Barrett. Cam still behind him. There's Coxie. Looks like Johnny 5 behind that. Random. Hanging on T in 10th. And that's Diego, I believe, the other Red Bull. So a little bit of spaced out again. There's Isolate and Braylo in the racing points. Here's DRS enabled. We'll cycle through the field here. Here's H in the other house. Back to Zap. Zap get that? No, okay, that's H. That's right. Okay, we got H and then K-Dog and then Zap. Here's Zap. Scabney, we got a little bit of a train going on again. Everybody settled back in. Another green flag run. Sam has caught the pack. He's trying to make a move on Mark down the front straight here. Cam trying to hang on to DRS range as well. Looks like he did not get it on the front straight. Braylo has retired. And that will cause another safety car. So Braylo just retires on a part of the track that he does not get off. So that will be another full course caution. As Zap had a 2-second advantage, but we'll run another full course yellow. 15 laps in, so with 20 to go, we'll see if it shakes up strategy anymore. As Terrible ducks into the pit lane now. H probably should. He does not though. And here comes K-Dog around. We'll see if she pits. She passes Braylo too. She will not pit. So we'll see if Zap's not quite gonna catch up to the safety car yet. We'll probably have a couple laps of safety car action again. Wonder if anyone will take up the pit lane. It's only been 4 or 5 laps. Looks like 5 or 6 laps for most people, since Zap does. He did. See, he was one of those that went soft, so indeed had to change tires again. As you see, Brian, Cam did not. Looks like Zap, Sam, Scabney all decided to run that second pit stop. Brian, Cam, Coxie, Johnny, Random, Diego, Isolate. Looks like they're sticking with 7-lap older tires. So I'm pretty sure this will make everybody's strategies complete. No more required pit stops for different compounds. As yes, everyone has stopped at least once. So I believe that will be the case. No more required pit stops. As I need to go get a drink, so I'm going to take a little break here under caution. Be right back. Put it up on the leaders first, though. Alright, safety car will be in this lap, so we'll get back ready to run. Some green flag racing. As they come around to take the green, Brian leads them back to the flag. Looks like Cam gets that little outside jump again down the front straight. See if he can make a move. As Coxie's behind a little bit, Cam gonna make a move. Looks like he's got the braking zone, gives Brian the room though. As they go to turn 2, back to turn 3. Back on the gas hard. Looks like Cam got a way better run. So takes the lead from Brian. Looks like Coxie behind, a little bit off track. Looked like a Renault wide. Kept it under control. Here you see Johnny. Here's Scabney. Trying to make his way back toward the front after a second pit stop. A lot of moves. Looked like a little dive there by the Renault. Got the move done though. I think that was random. Random serious. There's Zap and Sam. And that's H holding up Sam a little bit. Zap right ahead. Looks like Sam's going to get around H now. As he does, looks like Diego might get around him as well. And the DRS is helping though. Sam gets the move done. Completes the pass, sets his sights up on Zap now. There's Mario closing in on T there. A little bit of some lockups going on. Diego does get around H for 11th there. Smart passes K-Dog at the back as well. So Cam holding on to his lead, got a second. Brian keeping it close for second. Coxie with the double AlphaTauri podium at the moment. As there you see a little move to the inside. Zap looks in. Decides he'll wait for a better spot. As you see, he's coming up on the back of Mario and T. As now there will be DRS down the front straight. So Zap should have no problem passing these guys. Looks like he's not quite in the range yet. Coxie picks up the penalty, so now we're in crunch time again, where those penalties are going to be big time. As there you saw Mario got one as well. And Zap's catching. Looks like he makes the move. That's Scabney actually, sorry. Scabney looks like he caught Coxie. Look the same, I guess. Williams and AlphaTauri look similar, so that was Johnny he was catching. As T and Mario are swapping positions, Zap gets by. Looks like Sam got shuffled back, but oh, now there's a spin. A little off track there in sector 3. Green flags though, keeps it going. And Scabney's tracking down Johnny 5 now. This random gets a penalty for pit lane speeding and retires. I wonder what that was Johnny still holding on to 5th. Scabney trying to make that move. Cam and Brian distancing themselves a little bit. Maybe you got Coxie in 3rd with penalty time, I believe. So 15 more laps. I don't know, we might see more pit stops. So we'll go look a little back through the pack. You got Sam here in 8th. Last week's winner, Zap, down in 10th right now. But there is alternate strategies going on. There's fresher tires as your leader Cam gets a 3-second penalty. So a lot of penalty time again. Going to be adding up at the end of this race. You see Brian catching up with Cam a little bit. He's got mediums to the leader's hard tires, so as long as he pressures, and maybe he'll know he's got penalties. Just keep the pressure on to the end of the race. There's Coxie falling back a little bit, but keeping ahead. He's got Isolate, Johnny, and Scabney in a tight battle. Sam behind that line. They're going to need to pick them off one by one. You got T hanging on to 8th. Zap got around Diego there for 9th. Looks like he's gaining on T a little bit. Diego holding on to 10th. Johnny, looks like Johnny got around Isolate, and Scabney also. Looks like Sam going to try and take advantage. Can't get it done. Isolate keeps it clean, lets him by. Sam will be happy about that. Up to 6th place now. Scabney and Johnny trying to track down Coxie. And the front 2 of Brian and Cam are distancing themselves, keeping just a close enough battle for DRS. There's a little lock up, a little deep in that corner. It's like Sam pressuring Scabney, gets the inside line, and a pass made into the DRS. He'll get on top of that. Sam with a nice move there to take 5th place. Get around Scabney. Scabney is on harder tires as well, so if Sam can stretch it, he needed to get that move done quick to get around one of the quick guys. The more he has to use up his tires getting around these guys, the more they're going to catch back up at the end with their harder compound. As we see another penalty. So Isolate. He went on the opposite strategy of staying out on the 2nd safety car. He's falling back now. You got Sam right on Johnny. Looks like he's going to try and get a proper run down the DRS straight. Johnny squeezes him a little on the exit there, but he's going to have plenty of room. Plenty of DRS power. That Renault will take 4th place. This Scabney goes to the outside. Looked like he got tapped a little bit. He hung on to it to regroup. So Sam gonna set his sights on the podium now. There's Coxie and Brian. Gotten a little behind old Cam out front. He's been having the pace lately as he's 2nd place to Zap last week in the United States and a win the week before. But he does have penalty time, so you'll never know how all that'll shake out as H gets a big penalty. And a Sector 2 yellow. Looked like K-Dog a little off track. Coxie's reeling in Brian. I don't know what's happened to Brian there. His tires must have fell off a cliff because he's going real slow. And he's got damage. He's definitely ducking into the pits. So he's going Probably back to softs. Definitely, I would probably do that. We'll go check real quick. He comes out with mediums again, which might be used mediums. Isolate comes in for a set of softs. So they're going to drop out of the points paying positions from second place. We'll see if the rest of these guys can stretch it another 10, 11 laps. As Cam now has a 6-second lead over Coxie. Sam up to third and catching. He's right on the back. So Sam has the pace. He went opposite strategy for the qualifying, starting on the mediums. He's up trying to get the move done, get around for second, as Brian Mosser takes a 3-second penalty. So again, at the end of the race, there's going to be some shuffling going on when the penalties are handed out. Here's some midfield action. He's got Scabney getting around T. Diego there behind him. A little bit of a lockup. Scabney trying to hold off the oh no, Scabney wiggles back but saves it. So he gets passed by 3-4 cars and bumped again, and a wreck behind. So the Williams gets into the wall. Mario into the wall in the back. Sure, that was all inadvertent contact. Everyone just gets bottled up. It was tight racing there for a while. As now Diego up to 7th as Scabney still in 8th place. Looks like he did not suffer wing damage, so he got away with a little squirrely action. And that's Coxie ducking into the pits. His tires aren't going to make it. He throws the mediums, or the soft compound, to finish the race out. It's Mario also in the pit. Diego up to 5th now, as here's the pack. You've got Diego and T, Scabney and Mark, and Brian Mossard. Well, he's 9 seconds behind all that. But back in the points. As now Mark Scabney. It's a tight battle here for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Sam gonna just try to bite into that lead of Cam by the end of the race. 9 to go. Zap the same way. They've got pace. They just gotta catch up as there's a yellow into turn 6, turn 5. Looks like H got a little squirrely. So right now, this is the best. Oh, and Diego with a spin. Diego spins, so that little group of cars will get by. Mark and Scabney with T. T holding on to 5th with a strong drive. Johnny 5 ducks into the pits with now 8 to go. So different strategies are coming into play now. T holding on to 4th place. Scabney gets around though, with Mark right behind as well. Mark gonna try to capitalize on that, get around T. Might not get her done just yet. Say T's been doing a hell of a job defending here through these last few laps. There's been a group of cars around him since the restart. Those looks like Brian. Yep, there he goes. Passes Diego for 7th. He's going to try and catch Mark, who we're riding on board with now. Mark chasing T there, you see. Scabney up ahead of T. So it's spaced out here with 7 to go. You got 4 seconds between Cam and Sam. Zap 6 seconds back for third. Scabney behind that, but plenty of penalty time. As you see there, T gets 3 more seconds. Here comes Mark, see if he can make the move down the front straight. DRS opens. T's gonna make him go around the outside, but he gets it done. So Mark up to 4th. 5th, sorry. I thought, yeah, 5th. I believe no one's gonna pit anymore, as there's somebody in the pit. Diego had a spin, must have needed a new wing. As Mario's gonna get by him while he's in the pit lane. So we're gonna see Sam. Sam looks like he's better in the early sectors of the track, but the Cam opens it back up toward the end of the lap. We got 7 to go now. Cam with about a 4-second lead. Looks like some blue flags flying for H there at the back of the pack as Terrible's gotten lapped. And there you see Sam lapping Terrible as well. Zap a little back of that. Scabney kind of in his own little zone there. Mark and T. Brian catching them at a pretty good rate. As Coxey behind him, his teammate, is on softer tires, so maybe they can both pick off a position or 2 more at the end here. 6 to go after this lap. We got Sam digging into the lead now. We got 2.5 seconds, 6 laps to go. As they're distancing themselves, Zap and Scabney, 3rd, 4th, all pending penalty time. Looks like Coxey's catching his teammate. That's the closest battle on track. Johnny 5 catching Isolate also, possibly for a point position. We're now on lap 31. As there's another yellow, that looks like Mario. Mario spun, got off track again. Yep, he's off track. He's back on track, so no full safety car will be deployed. Coxey did get around Mosser there, and Johnny just passed Isolate for 9th. So I think Brian lets his teammate go. We saw he was on the fresher tires. They could maybe both track down T. T's been struggling here. I think he's been on a bit of a longer run. He might have worse off tires here. Oh yeah, he's got old tires. His Cam's stretching his tires to the max. 21 laps, trying to go 1 stop. He's pulled it off so far. It's all going to take the end of the race defending. As Coxey's catching up with T now. As he's going to pass him, looks like. And Sam's within a 1.5 seconds of the leader now as they're coming out of turn 3. We're going to watch Coxey down the front straight. Gets around, not around yet. He's next to T. That's going to pull Brian right up with him too. He looks like he's going to go for the pass into turn 1. T's not going to give that up. But the turn 2 back to turn 3, Mosser gets it complete as well. So they both earn a position there. We're going to go watch Watch Sam try and track down your leader, Cam. We got 4 to go. As Cam gets a penalty, so there's a win coster right there. Coxie picks up a penalty. I think Brian might be in a good spot to pick up a spot or two off of penalty time. As Cam certainly has penalty time. Coxie does as well. T does as well. Isolate. Also a point. Sitting in the points now with penalty time. As here comes Sam. Looks like he's not quite into the DRS range at the detection point. But he's still catching Cam down the front straight. Those fresher tires. Fresher tires, softer compound, they're both worn. So it's going to come down to Cam's defending. See if he can hold them off. As there you see Coxie gets around Mark of Kenya. Up into 5th place. Sam right on the back of Cam now. Looks like he's going to take a peek. Goes around the outside into the S's. Wow, that was a bold move. Cam might not have been expecting it and let it go. Maybe he knows he's got the penalty time, so he's not going to fight it too hard and just try to hold on for second. Because he's pushed those tires to the limit. One stop. He's the only one stopper that's still in the race on a 23 lap old tires. But he's well ahead of Zap, so he could hold on for second. Sam's gonna distance himself now. He's got a second lead, but Cam keeping it close. I think these guys got their favorite sectors here because the time stretches and shrinks every lap. Who's anybody close? Looks like Brian got around Mark as well for 6th place after his late pit stop for fresh rubber. Mark catching back up with some DRS down the front straight, but I don't think he's going to have enough to pass. Sam still hanging on to the lead. Cam through the S's, just doing everything he can to keep that gap with his penalty time. He's got at least 3 seconds, possibly 6, so he's going to be hoping to hang on to 2nd place. Zap and Scavney have big gaps between them. Looks like their finishing positions are pretty set. Coxie 2 seconds behind Scavney. Mosser behind that. Could pick up a spot. He could sneak 5th with some penalty time as we're on lap 35 now. Sam, your leader. Cam's just going to be content riding with him, I think, because he knows he's got the penalty time. And he's going to stay close enough to just make sure. You maybe put that pressure, get a wiggle or a spin, get him off track, you could still take a win. You never know till the checkers fly. It looks like everybody comes cleanly into lap 35 now. Cam hanging right in the DRS range. Still that 7 seconds to 3rd, so he's gonna probably hang on to 2nd place. Looks like Coxie making some headway up to the back of Scavney now. As Mark gets a penalty. So that's a possible position costing penalty there as well. As you see, Isolate with Flair. Diego catching Isolate there. Let's see if he can make a pass for some point position as we're now on to the last lap. Diego gets the move done on Isolate. As Coxie also gets around Scabney, but we're going to stick up with Cam here. Behind Sam. Sam trying to make a big comeback after his time away, trying to get a win. Make sure Scabney can't quite clinch the title today. So here comes your leader through the S's now into Sector 3 for the final time. Down to the hard break of turn 12. As he comes into the stadium section. Little loop, you see the fireworks going off for Sam Barrett. As he comes around the final corner, Cam right on his bumper, but Sam is going to be your winner. Sam Barrett wins. Cam gets second, possibly, as he's a lot of penalty time behind. You'll see Zap come across the line, does get third. Here comes Coxie. He's got penalties. Coxie coming over the line fourth, but we'll give it up to Scabney, and Brian Mosser will get fifth. Coxie sneaks sixth. Here comes T-Widow with plenty of penalty time, it looks like. So yes, he goes to ninth at the flag as Mark and Johnny both pass him, and Diego gets up to eighth as well at the flag with penalty time. So Johnny dropped a couple, T dropped a couple, Isolate dropped a couple. Here comes H around to finish his race in 12th place. The other Haas cars should be alright with that. Good run. Tough track. Not the easiest. You see K-Dog fighting for the spot till the very end for 13th. So a good run for her in the Mercedes. It's terrible when Mario finished a lap down. But Sam Barrett with a triumphant return to the JKeSports League with a win in the Mexican Grand Prix. And the game also deems him driver of the day. So I believe he started 8th on the medium tires. The only driver to go alternate strategy in qualifying. Here you see him up on the podium. Get that trophy. Good work, Sam. See Sam, Cam, and Zap up on the podium there. So that is Sam Barrett's 8th win of the season. For Renault, he did pull a 2-stop. Cam makes the 1-stop work for second in the Red Bull. He gets a good haul of points. Looks like fastest lap of the race will go to Coxie with a 1:17.1 at the end with fresh, soft tires. Here you see your top 10. Couple runners a lap down there. Terrible and Mario. Random and Braylo with the DNFs. So with 2 races to go in the JKeSports League, that's nothing decided yet. We've got championships to go. We've got great racing coming again next week in Brazil. I am Spaceman 47 Yo for the JKeSports League. Good night.